Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 5 Minute Mount Moving Moments on this awesome Monday. Are you prepared to move mountains out of your life? Because if you are, we're going to move this ugly mountain I'm going to be talking about in 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, God is awesome because once this mountain is removed out of your life, you're going to experience God's best for your life. So let's get right down to it. Now, in Mark 11:23, it says, whoever should say to this mountain, be removed, be cast into the sea, and don't doubt in your heart, but believe that the things which you say will happen, you will have whatever you say. The ability to move a mountain out of your life, it rests with your faith. And I'm telling you, as I give you the word of God today, your faith is going to be built, and you're going to see that you're going to have the tenacity and the strength to move this mountain out of your life. What mountain are we removing out of your life today? And it's called unforgiveness. Remember, in order to deal with that mountain outside of you, you got to be able to deal with some hard issues that's living inside of you. And unforgiveness is one of them. It's time out for unforgiveness. It's causing anxiety. It's causing stress. It's causing depression. It's causing you to be in a place where you're not yourself. It causes deception. It changes your personality. You know why? Because unforgiveness is like a cancer that needs to be removed out of your life. Who has hurt you? Who has offended you? Who has rejected you? I know that this person or this situation that happened in your life is not favorable. It shouldn't have happened. You expected more out of that person. You expected more out of that loved one. But guess what? It happened. And it's time for you to move forward. And it's time for you to forgive. Let me tell you something what God says. In Mark 11:25, it said, and whoever, when you stand and praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you of your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses. I want to say very clearly, you have no right to be offended. You have no right to operate in unforgiveness. You know why? It's because you were once an enemy against God. You were once offended against God. You were once in hostility against God. And God still sent his son to die for you. He forgave you. And let me tell you about the greatest thing of when you get out of unforgiveness and get into forgiveness. Do you know that when Christ forgave you, you got healed? I say it again. When Christ forgave you, you got healed. So how do you think that you're going to be able to carry around a spiritual sickness called unforgiveness? If you have that in your life, it is a spiritual sickness. But I'm going to tell you today how to get healed emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. You got to root out that spiritual cancer of offense, of hurt, of shame, everything you've been feeling about yourself, and you got to forgive that person. Yes, they might be your enemy. Yes, they might be a loved one that you expected more from, but you're going to have to forgive them, because when you forgive them, you get healed. And if you keep unforgiveness in your life, it's going to take over your life. It's going to take over your mind. It's going to take over your entire being where you can't function. You know, one of the greatest things that my wife always told me about unforgiveness is that the very thing that a person did to you, you're still harboring the hurt and the pain. And that person most of the time is not thinking anything about it. It's time for you to forgive. Yes, forgive your enemies. Forgive those that wrong you. Forgive those that hurt you, and get your healing today. You know what you're supposed to do today. You know your assignment, and you know who you're supposed to forgive. I'm telling you right now, do it today. Don't let another moment waste. You know why? Because you have no right to have offense and unforgiveness when God forgave you. I'll see y'all later. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you invite somebody. Tell somebody about 5 Minute Mountain Movie.